Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. So this listener says, yes, my G's. Love it. After meeting on Tinder, I've been talking to a girl I knew back in school and we're getting along great. My issue is all my mates knew her as Nitty, I'm not going to say the name, which was her nickname given to her by the kids in our year group at school because she had lice one time back in high school, as well as having the smell of BO now and then. Kids are so creative.
They are creative, yeah, and cruel as well.
So naturally, I'm nervous to pursue anything with her for two reasons. She may find out about a nickname for her when meeting my mates, and another being that my mates will ridicule me for dating her. Is this something I need to be worried about? It's starting to put me off the chats with her. I'm pretty sure she knows. I mean, all kids know their nicknames and...
Yeah. Like high school. Well, it depends. It depends how far away high school was as well for this guy. Like, if it's as far away as it is for us, it's not going to fucking matter. Like what happened. But if they're fresh out of high school and they're like in their 20s, early 20s, they're going to be still pretty much in that same like mindset.
Mm.
So I would, if you really like this girl, I would just say that this was the nickname they had for you, and just keep them separate for a little while. And then once they do meet as like your friendship group and your girlfriend meets, if anyone tries to come after you, just fucking go like all guns blazing at them, because at the end of the day, it's your girl. At the end of the day,
yeah. I think they're gonna take the group of mates take the piss out of everything for anything. You know what I mean? It's not. They don't care. Even if it wasn't someone you're from high school, they'd find something and take the piss out of her for.
Mate, so the amount of grief I get for some of the shit I was doing in high school now, because like in my friendship groups, my brother, both of my younger brothers, and like guys that knew me back then, so then they know that I was a dickhead in high school. So I get the amount of grief about like why I was such an arsehole in high school. But I'm a different person now. Do you know what I mean? So that's just waters off a duck's back now, because I'm not that person anymore. And that's the way
high school is high school, right? I don't. Yeah. Everyone had nicknames and everyone had this and that. Like people grow up. Well, most people grow up, and I think if you're seeing some interest in her, you shouldn't shy away from that just because of what people in high school would say. You know
no, because they don't give it. It don't matter.
I remember I've spoken about a mate before, and it was like a virgin still, and we were trying to set him up with this girl that we went to high school with, and we were all like taking the piss, and he wouldn't do it because we were all taking the piss. And we even drove him once to our house. Like we were talking to her on MSN for him, and we were like, I'm going to come round. Like my mate's going to give me a lift. We gave him a lift all the way there, dropped him off. And I was fooling around with her mate at the point. And we dropped him off, and we drove all the way back. So she lived up by Asda. So we dropped him, he was in the village. Just for Jamie's reference, not for the listeners. So we drove all the way to Asda, dropped him off at her house, drove back, and then I text him and I'm like, have you done it yet? And he's like, no, we're just sitting here talking. I'm like, do you need me to come back for like support? And he was like, yeah. So I personally walked then back all the way back to him and sat with him and then walked him home because he didn't fucking go through with it. That next year, I end up sleeping with her. I can't remember how that happened, but like it was fucking blinding. And I thought to myself, like, all the grief we gave him because he was going to sleep with her, and she's fucking a belter in the bedroom. And I was quite fucking happy to be banging her. I was like, doesn't bother me what they fucking. But then I cooked it up because then I started sleeping with her mate again, and they both told each other, and there's Dan fucking his life up. But So yeah, you shouldn't worry about what people say. Like, it's just childish fucking bullshit in it when you're in school. Like, everyone tries to be a popular kid in school and they put everyone down.
Yeah,
And so what, shed lice?
Groups of mates, groups of lads, as we said, just take the piss out of everything anyway.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of stuff that I say about my mates and stuff, and I absolutely rip into them constantly, and even me and Dan do it to each other. We rip into each other about certain things. It's just the way we are.
Yeah.
We don't take things seriously. We're big children, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you're only just like talking as well, like, and even when you start dating and stuff like that, you're not going to immediately bring her to your mates because it may not even last that long. So
I always found it strange. There's always a guy in the friendship group that parades the new girlfriend out, like, "Hey guys, what do you think of her?"
Yeah, it's like,
straight away.
Don't do that. Yeah, so just enjoy yourself. Don't worry about your mates, like, and then because you're bringing up anxiety and stuff that doesn't need to be there. You could go on 2 dates and then you're just like say to your mates, "Oh, the new girl, it didn't work out."
Yeah.
Just because they're their mates, they don't need to know your fucking ins and outs. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Keep a bit to yourself. Just give them a little bit, tease them a little bit with the information, and you'll be all right. And just enjoy yourself. I'm sure they had a nickname for you when you're in high school.